At our top story today at noon, we are having a KGW weather impact alert now in effect through Wednesday, and we're expecting to see anywhere from 4 to 7 inches of rain over the next few days. A lot of Northwest Oregon and Western Washington are under a flood watch right now, and a wind advisory is in effect as well. So let's bring in Chris McGinnis now for a closer look at what's in store, Chris.
Yeah, a lot going on here over the next 72 hours. So when? Well, now, from now until late Wednesday night, we expect a prolonged period of rain, steady, at times heavy rain to fall across the region. In addition, it's going to be coupled with some gusty winds from time to time. All of that brings out the possibility of down trees, down power lines, and landslides, in addition to obviously the flooding rain threat, which means that area rivers are going to be on the rise, and there's going to be a ton of ponding on area roadways as well as we go through the next 3 days. Here's a look at radar over the last 3 hours, and again, you can see a solid batch of yellow and orange on the map, indicative of rainfall rates that so far this morning haven't been terribly heavy here in Portland. And not that they were expected to be heavy right from the get-go, but we're measuring about 1/10 of an inch of an hour of rain so far at PDX, but more than that in the Coast Range as expected. And these rainfall amounts, these rainfall rates are likely to fluctuate and probably get a little heavier as we go into the afternoon. The live scan again shows just a solid shot of rain here across the region. In the North Oregon Coast Range, Jewel has already picked up unofficially 1.4 inches of rain since midnight. Tillamook has picked up an inch, missed almost an inch. And then we get towards the east slopes of the Coast Range. Amity and Forest Grove have picked up 0.8 of an inch or better. At PDX, we picked up a little better than 0.4 of an inch so far. And again, there's a lot more rain to come. So with that in mind, the flood watch in effect until 4 a.m. Friday. Even though the rain will long be over with at that point, we will still be dealing with the effects of rising rivers from all the water that we have accumulated. In the short term, we also have a wind advisory today with a gusty south breeze from time to time on the order of about 30 to 35 miles an hour. Now, that in and of itself doesn't sound overly impressive, but because we've had some rain and we're going to continue to get more rain, down trees are going to be an issue with the saturated soils. For the rest of today, it's quite mild. As you can see, temperatures remaining in the upper 50s, and that brings out one other aspect of this, which is rain is falling very high on the Cascade slopes. So we're talking snow levels at 6,000 to 7,000 feet and beyond. This will be all rain in the Cascades. Your full forecast coming up after the break.
And up in Washington, one person is dead and another is in the hospital after winds caused a tree to fall on their car. This happened in Carnation. That's a small town about 30 miles east of Seattle along State Route 203 on Saturday afternoon. Fire officials say the wind wasn't very strong at the time, but the ground was saturated.
All the rain that we've been getting, we get a lot of really soft ground, so any tree can come down at any point. Our boats are ready to go, our swimmers, all of our gear's been checked. We're ready for what's to come.
Now, the boyfriend of the woman who died was also in the car when it was hit by that tree. He was airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. As we hunker down ahead of the incoming rain, it's coming in right now, the National Weather Service has a few tips to prepare for dealing with potential flooding. It starts with never driving through standing or running water. It only takes 12 inches to potentially sweep a car away. Also, avoid low-lying areas, trails near fast-moving rivers and steep slopes that may be unstable. Now, at home, you should clear gutters, downspouts, and neighborhood storm drains. And if you live in a flood-prone area, review your household flood plan and prepare supplies. Chris McGinnis will join us again in just a few minutes with a full look at what we can expect around here weather-wise over the next few days. And you can also stay up to date wherever you are throughout the day by downloading the KGW News app.
I was in tears. He's screaming for help, and his wife, people begging for help. Like, what is wrong? Why is y'all doing this to him?
That is a neighbor of a Vancouver man who witnesses say was attacked by a Department of Homeland Security dog while he was being detained. We've heard reaction from this story from Washington Senator Patty Murray, as well as ICE, which denies it even has canines. KGW's Libby Dowsett joins us live in the newsroom with the latest update. Libby.
Well, Tim, we spoke with the neighbor who says Wilmer Toledo Martinez was targeted by what appeared to be federal agents in front of his apartment last month. According to the neighbor, agents released a dog on the man, which caused gashes on his body, before agents took him to the ICE facility in Tacoma. An ICE representative says ICE doesn't have canines. We want to warn you, you may find this video of the man's injuries disturbing. The recording shows Toledo Martinez on the ground, a dog being held back by what appears to be U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents. His attorney says before the video began rolling, the dog attacked him. Photos showed those injuries on his arm and side. We received an email response from ICE on Sunday saying, quote, ICE does not have any canine units, so this could not have been our agency. Neighbor John Williams Sr. at the same apartment complex says he watched the incident unfold.
Wife screaming, the kids in the car screaming. I'm glad his 7-year-old daughter wasn't here, the 2 and 3-year-old was here. And we were trying to ask what's going on, and they're telling her to get back, or we're gonna sick the dog on you.
Toledo Martinez is undocumented. He was brought to the U.S. when he was 15. According to his attorney, a federal agent lured him out of his home, claiming to be a construction worker who was asking if he had hit his car. Washington Democratic Senator Patty Murray is calling for the man's immediate release from the Tacoma detention facility. Now back to you, Tim.
All right, Libby, thanks for that report. We appreciate the update. Well, hundreds of high school students across the Beaverton School District staged a mass walkout this morning to protest the Trump administration's immigration enforcement tactics. This video shows students from Aloha High School as they walked out of class there along the sidewalk there. The students say they want to spread awareness about ICE detainments and keep Beaverton School District students safe.
Organizations like ICE are terrorizing the people in my community and people that are essentially my family. And I connect with a lot of people that have lost people and lost contact and all these horrible things that are done to people en masse.
Meanwhile, the Oregon Education Association held a training designed to protect immigrant students and families. The training covered how to prevent, respond to, and support communities impacted by potential ICE activity near school campuses and other locations. One of the leaders of the Oregon Education Association told us that he believes students in certain communities are afraid to go to school now because of the ICE activity. The Department of Homeland Security, meanwhile, says ICE does not raid or target schools. New data on immigration-related arrests gives us a look at the scope of President Donald Trump's sweeping crackdown. According to the Data Deportation Project, that's a research group associated with UC Berkeley Law School, ICE has arrested around 220,000 people since Trump took office in January. The data was obtained through a lawsuit against ICE, which stopped regularly posting detailed information on arrests back in January. Well, the group also found that of the 220,000, ICE agents arrested nearly 75,000 people, or about a third, with no criminal records. The data does not include arrests made by Border Patrol, which has ramped up operations in places like Chicago and Los Angeles. So far, no comment from the Department of Homeland Security. And you can find continuing coverage on immigration enforcement in the Northwest anytime at KGW.com or KGW's YouTube page, and also streaming on our TV app, KGW Plus.